Afternoon, everyone. This is Jay. How's it going today? I hope good. Them two planks on top came out of a barn that was built in the 1850s or so. It was out of a hand-hewn log. It's red oak. And came out of an old growth tree that was probably over 200 years old. So you're figuring that if the barn was built in 1835, old growth tree of another 200 years old, that sets it back somewhere around the tree started growing about 1600. I have a bunch more of this lumber that came out of that barn. My brother had this sawed out like 30 years ago, and it was in the barn down at his house. Anybody wants them to, make an offer. I'll give them to you, Mr. Wallace, from Wallace Knives. If you want them, I'll try to ship them to you. I have some bigger pieces that are 8x8 and 8x10. I cut them to 4-foot lengths because they was just too heavy to manage. I was building furniture and cabinets and stuff for a while, but kind of got out of it. Had to sell all my equipment, which was a sad day. But as other things, time goes on and things get better. I'll show you a little bit more here of some things going on today. Yeah, here's some more seed saving on the left there. That's that Chinese lettuce. In the middle is spinach seed. On the corner is some dill, and then on the right is some pink hollyhocks. I'm trying to save some seeds in between now and the time that I have to be out around the August 6th date. My birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, this is this horseradish that I picked. I'm getting ready to take it in and clean it off a little bit better and grind it. I don't think nobody's going to want to be in the house for a little while because this is some pretty hot stuff. Then I'll put it in vinegar and a little salt and put it in a jar in the refrigerator, and it usually lasts a year at least. You can make cocktail sauce, horseradish sauce, and I'd put some recipes on if anybody was interested. Then over here is a start of some saving sunflowers already. The squirrels seem to be wanting to eat them up real quick, and the yellow canaries, but that's okay. I'll give them some. I'll let them have the big ones, and I'll take seed from the secondary. That little red corn right there came from an ear that I picked early and just kind of let it dry in the sun, so some of the seed may be viable before I get to have to move, but that's my intention, to try to move everything and save the seeds that I can and harvest what I can out the garden. Harvest a bunch of stuff yesterday, more cabbage and other stuff. But the garden goes on. There's the peach tree that I got out to compost. It's not looking too good. It's been really hot. I had to put it in the shade. I'd love to put that out somewhere, probably my mom's. I got another little one in the garden. I think I'll transplant it too, because you usually need two, I think. So it looks pretty good for it suffered. It made it through winter in that pot, which surprised me. Never did freeze. Yeah, here's some rough looking houseplants I've been giving away. I had a bunch more. I set them out front, put free on them. Lady come up and she said she wanted 5 of them, so she said, "Oh, I'll just give you $1 a piece." And I took the $5. I didn't want to, because I've just been walking around the neighborhood giving them to people. Had 10 rubber trees. They seem to go the fastest. But I had a place I'd have half a greenhouse full of these plants. Garden suffering. It's been hot. I haven't been watering. Tomatoes coming on. I'm starting to get a little blight. I treated with aspirins and Epsom salt, and I hope that kind of works, but I doubt it. Once that stuff takes off, you might as well figure it's going to keep spreading. Ain't hardly much you can do. But I am picking a few tomatoes off the ones that are still healthy. And I really don't think that the blight hurts the tomato, but it may. Here's that Charlie Chapman. That tomato's pretty much hollow. I think it's a cross between a tomato and a pepper, but I stuff them with pizza stuff or roast beef and cheese or whatever, but they're hollow, they ain't got no juice, and they got a seed cavity, or seed just like a pepper almost. They're a Charlie Chapman, they're an heirloom, indeterminate. Pretty neat tomato. Some of the sunflowers I've measured today are 14 feet. Yeah, these are multi-head, but I grow mainly multi-heads. I kind of like them better. I have others, but these are the ones that I grew this year. I only selected like 5 kinds, so the seeds are different in most of them. So I just love these sunflowers. Probably the most unique flower there is. To grow that tall from one seed in one season, produce that much green and that much seed. It's just a very, very beautiful flower, and I love them. They're pretty cool. Garden's got that midday wilt on them sweet potatoes. I'm gonna have to keep watering them here. I only got about 30 days to get them, so whatever I get out of them, I'll get. That's my favorite thing in the garden. I just hate to lose them. I picked the cucumber off the cucumber that, you know, I had planned and made that video of that dried cucumber. I got the first one today. 3 of the plants survived even after that flood. So I picked all along here the flowers the other day, dried them. I've stored them now for next year. I'll keep picking a few more and separate the ones I want to try to keep them separate to grow whichever ones that I want that genetics from. There's them pole beans. They're growing up to corn. And right down beside them, I don't know if you can see, most people know I'd planted them beets. Them beets are doing really good, and it's kind of surprising because they're planted right next to the beans. Maybe the beans are just producing enough nitrogen to make them grow, and there's enough shade to keep it moist there. But that might be a good idea, planting beets with beans. Give it a try. On this end of these beans here are the ones that I did not fertilize with the mix I have for my beans. And you can see down on that other end down there the difference in they look about the last 8 feet. That's the ones that I did fertilize with my mixtures, and they're looking really good. This is another corn project. I had pollinated this with some multi-ear corn, which would have 6-8 ears on it. It was a wild corn. I did that like 5 years ago. That stalk on the right has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ears. The other one didn't quite show the same genetics, but it's the same corn. I kept it separate, so I'm just growing that one for seed. You can see over there all the tomatoes. The tomatoes are coming on really good. Another week I'll have a bushel of ripe ones. And then my winter squash is coming on. I won't be here to see it. There's another little stalk of corn that I specially pollinated. I'll keep doing that. People think I'm kind of quack, but man, I'm getting some neat looking corn out of it. And it's all heirloom, open pollinated. I cut down them 3 rows over there because it was 140-day corn. 120 to 140 days, and I'm not going to be here, and I didn't want to leave it for someone to swipe the seed because I've been working on that seed a while. I would give any of that popcorn seed to someone that'll grow it, and then in the fall just send me back a couple ears, you know, and then you keep the extra, and then you'd have that popcorn forever. But right at the moment I'm just not going to give a whole bunch of it away, a little. Some of the ones that I have stabilized and kind of got out there. You can see over there along the trellis, cucumbers are climbing. I picked 2 cucumbers today, the first 2. Be happy to make some refrigerator pickles. I don't know what's up with YouTube. They must think I'm, I don't know, stalker or something, because they keep deleting all the women off my channel. I don't know why they would do that. Try to be nice to people. I lost one of my best subs. I guess he had a right to leave. You know, that's his prerogative. But I hated to see him go. And I had deleted all my videos because I felt really bad about bringing my problems to my subs. I should have never done that because I'm tougher than that, and I can take whatever this world gives me. I've always been tougher than that. My hardest problem in this world has always been women. Man, I fall for women. My younger days so easy. Then I met my wife. She's a lot younger than me, real beautiful, and put all my faith in her, and man, I've had some problems with that. Oh well, life goes on. I want to travel a little bit. I want to go down and help Go for Green Living clear off the spot for their camp. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too much. Doc said today I need a total right knee replacement. I don't think it's that bad. But he says you're going to get sepsis in your knee, and I said, well, 10 years ago when I heard it, you should have fixed it then. Now they want to fix it. I told him, I said, why don't you fix my neck? I can't turn my head. So here's the garden. It's hot. It's not looking as good as it did. We need rain. Not as hot today. It's only 86 with 74% humidity. So if you've ever seen that. I'm not going to get this too much longer. That's the garden. I showed a little bit of the seeds and the horseradish. I'm going to grind it. I'm going to make a video on how I save tomato seeds, however controversial it'll be. It's easier in any way online, and it works. I learned it from the Amish. From another guy online does it, and it works. I'll show 2 ways. And tomato seeds aren't that hard to save, and you don't have to wash them. People say you gotta wash them, but you don't. They'll grow just as good as if you don't. But the seed collecting goes on. I went around the neighborhood today, collected a bunch of seed from stuff, and drying it and cataloging it. You know, anybody wants to buy that lumber in the garage, that's some good stuff. Anybody wants to build cabinets. But I thank you. Have a good day.